Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Now in today's video it's going to be a very exciting one because I'm going to be reviewing my entire collection by the brand WESTMAN Atelier. Now WESTMAN Atelier is definitely no stranger to my channel. I have reviewed this brand previously on my channel and I will definitely link those videos below. In case you don't find something that I reviewed back then, I will refer you back to that video, but just rest assured I'm going to be talking about my entire collection that I've tried ever since. So I started out trying WESTMAN Atelier around, I think it was late 2019, early 2020, around their launch date. When this brand launched, I was really curious from the get-go. So if you're completely unfamiliar with WESTMAN Atelier, this was actually a brand that was founded by a makeup artist, a celebrity makeup artist called Gucci Westman. And she is really passionate about her makeup, about her style, and you can tell that from her Instagram, from her posts. She really cares a lot about the products that she creates. Gucci definitely does have a very distinctive taste in makeup. I feel like she's really into cream products, and you can tell by her makeup line that she loves a good cream product. Now, I always kind of love a good face powder, and yeah, there was definitely a lack of powder products in this collection, but I feel like they might come out with more powders very soon. I have two powder products. One of them is their bronzer, and then I also have their newly released face powder, their new setting powder. So I'm really excited to be sharing my opinion with you guys on that new product. Now, I really do feel like that this brand came out at a time where there was kind of a gap for the luxurious sort of clean beauty consumer. Now, this is a very bougie, expensive, luxurious, clean beauty brand. Honestly, you guys, this might just be a little bit over the top in terms of pricing. Like, these are some of the most expensive items I've ever bought, and I'm just like, wow. Some of them are definitely worth it, others not so much, and that's why I'm making this video, to maybe stir you in the right direction in case you have a similar taste as I do, in case you have similar skin to mine. Now, just be aware that this is solely my opinion. Everyone's skin type is different, everyone's preference in makeup is different, so maybe one of the products that I don't like, you like a lot. So just drop me a comment below if you've tried anything by WESTMAN Atelier at all. So I would really appreciate if you would share your opinion with me, because I'm really curious. What are you guys thinking? Is this actually worth the money or not? Also, if you are new to my channel and you have not hit the subscribe button just yet, why not hit it? You can also ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming videos. And if you find this review helpful at any point, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. That would be extremely appreciated. Now, WESTMAN Atelier is of course 100% cruelty-free as well. Some products are vegan, others are not, but they're doing a really good job in actually listing all of the ingredients on their website. So if that's any of your concern, I would suggest, as per usual, checking the ingredient list for each and every product that you may want to purchase. Now, the one thing I used to critique about WESTMAN Atelier was the fact that their packaging, it's so beautiful, it's so stunning, it feels so luxurious, but they really lack to offer refills. And for some products, that's still the case. For others, we're kind of seeing a change. And I feel like WESTMAN Atelier did pledge to make more products refillable in 2022. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to do about all of this. Now, if you're concerned about how to recycle the packaging, you can find an entire sort of section on their website called Recycling, where everything is listed, what you could do with the empty packages or how you could send them back eventually if you live in the United States. I feel like that's everything I wanted to have mentioned about WESTMAN Atelier. So without no further ado, let's just review the very first product by WESTMAN Atelier. As of right now, they don't really carry a primer, so I don't even think they would ever come out with a primer, because I feel like Gucci kind of insisted on the fact that her foundation might be a primer, skincare, hybrid foundation all in one. So let's actually start off with the very first product from the line. Let's start off with their foundation. So this is the Vital Skin Foundation Stick, and this retails for $68. Yeah, you guys, just be warned, don't be shocked about these price tags. They are very pricey products, and I mean, it's no joke. Like, it's really, really expensive. I feel like this might just be one of the most expensive clean beauty lines I've ever tried in my entire life. It comes in this packaging when you receive it. It's really, really nice packaging, I've got to say. So this is the stick, really beautiful sort of pastel baby pink. And then you can open it up like that. And here it is. So on the website, this does claim clean, luxurious cream foundation and concealer stick, rich in antioxidants and calming actives to combat redness, soothe, even out complexion, and boost moisture. Buildable, molten texture melts into skin for a radiant, natural finish. Your skin effortlessly enhanced. No silicones, no parabens, no PEGs, no talc, no phthalates, no synthetic fragrances. This is also a vegan product and no animal testing. So this actually comes in 21 shades. Now I'm actually wearing the shade Atelier 3. I used to have the shade Atelier 1, which is now called Atelier 0.5, which was a fair with neutral undertones. So my correct shade Atelier 3 is a light to medium with golden undertone. Now, don't be fooled, there is not much golden or warm undertone here. I feel like it's a pretty neutral shade all in all. So I actually have this product in 2 other shades because, believe it or not, this is my mom's favorite foundation of all times. So she uses some different shades than I do. So here are all of the swatches of the different shades that my mom and I tried out. So from left to right we have, first off, shade 0.5, which used to be Atelier 1. This was the first shade I ever purchased. It's obviously too light and it's described as a fair with neutral undertones. Then we have Atelier 2, which is described as a light with warm beige undertone. This was the first shade my mom tried out and it was too light for her. Then we have Atelier 3, a light medium with golden undertone. This is my correct shade, the one I'm wearing, and this is my mom's winter shade. And then we have Atelier 5, a warm nude with olive undertone. And the last one, Atelier 6, a warm honey with a golden undertone, and 5 and 6 are my mom's summer shades. Now, I don't really think that the undertones that I just read to you from the website are actually that accurate. If you look at the swatches, they look a little bit different than what they are described as. Now, when she released this foundation initially, she only had 14 shades. Now she actually has 21 shades. So she expanded the shade range, which is always great to hear, great to see that somebody is actually catering to more people. I feel like that's a good, solid, decent shade range. Maybe there's a little bit of a lack in the light to medium neutral undertones category, may I say. But this Atelier number 3 actually also works on my skin tone. So let's actually talk about a couple of these ingredients. I'm going to tell you some of the ingredients that I like, and then maybe others where you might be a little bit like, cringe, what is happening, like, I don't know. Like, some of these ingredients are not necessarily my favorite ingredients to have in a foundation. So the foundation is actually based on caprylic triglyceride, which is usually derived from coconuts. We also have synthetic beeswax in here, so that makes the foundation actually vegan. She did not use real beeswax. There's also Camellia oleifera seed oil, which is a really good, nourishing, moisturizing oil. It's really good because it has a lot of skincare benefits. And then there's also squalane in here, which is derived from plants. So let's talk a little bit about some of the ingredients that I don't necessarily appreciate that much. So the one thing I know for a lot of you guys might be a red flag is the fact that this foundation does contain hydrogenated coconut oil. Now, coconut oil can be a little bit comedogenic, and hydrogenated one is even worse. So it's literally maybe not the best if you are acne prone, but we'll get to that. There's also 2 different types of alcohols in here. And then the one thing that I personally don't like in this foundation is the fact that there's polyethylene in here. Polyethylene is nothing else than plastic, and that's a little bit shocking. I know that they point out that, you know, they don't use any silicones and such, but polyethylene, I find it worse than any silicone. And although, you know, on the website it does claim that if they are using synthetic ingredients, they are safe, I don't think this is very environmentally friendly. So that is just something to keep in mind. I mean, there's also a bunch of other kind of ingredients in here. You can read that full ingredient list on their website. But yeah, let's actually talk about the application, the performance, and my thoughts and my feelings on this. So honestly, I would suggest to actually apply this foundation with a brush. Now I know that WESTMAN Atelier actually does make some makeup brushes. They are so expensive, and I've got ton of other brushes. So I actually love using my brush by Clove & Hallow, their Perfecting Buffer brush. So the way I apply this is I literally go in with the stick onto my skin. Now I know this might not be the most hygienic way, but I washed my face before I apply my makeup. And yeah, I just go on with a couple of stripes onto my face, and then I buff this out. I literally do tapping motions, and you can see how much product I used. I did not use that much. That is pretty much a small amount of product. And you can tell that this product, it's better to actually tap it in, to do tapping motions instead of swiping motions with this. And yeah, you can see that the coverage on this is very sheer. On the first layer, I would say I achieved a very kind of like light coverage with this. It definitely does even out my skin tone, but not to a great extent. I feel like this is made for people who enjoy this no makeup style, which I honestly don't. But yeah, the coverage on this is kind of not very good if you use very little product. So you can see how much coverage I can achieve with just one thin layer of this product. Not much. And I've got to say, on spots where I am a little bit oilier, like my chin, like my forehead, like this spot right here, it does not stick that well. And I feel like every time I'm applying this foundation, my skin is doing like and eating the product up. I don't know what it is. It might just be the skincare ingredients, that emollient feeling to it. It's such an emollient formula that it just doesn't want to stick to my face. And although it's really beautiful and moisturizing and nourishing, this might just be best for dry skin types. Now, for my more combination, more sort of leaning on the oilier side, although I'm not that oily, but this actually makes me look so oily, so like greasy. This finish, I can't deal with this. This is a finish where I'm like, yeah, this looks like a waxy, oily foundation. And although it feels super nice and nourishing and it glides on really like butter, it is not my favorite type of foundation. My mom loves this. My mom is a lot older. She's 60 plus. Now, I always prefer something more blurred, something a little bit more matte, more satin. This is gonna give you that shininess that could translate onto my skin very easily as like greasy and oily, which I definitely don't like. I always have to build this up because on the very first layer, I feel like no way that I can get away with this coverage. Now I can do a max of 2 layers before I'm running into issues of having applied too much of this foundation. If I apply this too much, it's just gonna be too glowy, too shiny. It's just not sitting that well on my skin, especially not on my nose and on my chin. I feel like those are the spots where this foundation just does not want to stick, and my skin really absorbs this. The whole emollients, the whole hydration from this stick is being absorbed and just leaves me with some uneven coverage. And yeah, I mean, all in all, this will never be my favorite foundation. To be honest, I'm gonna give all of my foundation sticks to my mom because they're actually not mine, they're my mom's, but she was like, if you want to film with them for the review, just go for it. But yeah, I never really liked this foundation because it just does not cater to my personal needs, my personal preferences in makeup. And on my skin, I just don't feel like it's sitting that well. I also just want to say, if I touch my face just like that, this transfers. This does not dry down. It's so kind of like emollient that, yeah, it just doesn't have a normal dry down. And it's not self-setting by any means. So I really have to set this with powder to make it work. And I always feel like this foundation is the one foundation that does not work that well with powder. Also, on the website, it does say this could be used as a concealer. Now, I tried to actually conceal my under eyes today with it. It's fine. I would just not go bananas with this. If I use too much product, it's literally gonna crease under my eyes. And yeah, definitely not usable as a concealer for me. Also, a concealer should really conceal, and I just feel like it's lacking coverage, especially on my chin. It's just not sticking, and it's just moving around too much. So rounding up, this might be your favorite foundation, but it's definitely not mine. It's just the finish that I don't like. I don't like how this sits on my skin. I don't like what it's doing to my specific skin, like how it's absorbed, but I kind of enjoy how my skin feels at the end of the day. I do want to say this did not break me out in any way, although it does contain this coconut oil. It did never break me out, but it left my skin feeling very soft when I washed this off. I could tell, wow, this definitely has some skincare benefits in here, but it's just nothing that I like, because although I don't really feel it like sitting on my skin too much, if I would touch my face, I would rub it off. So without setting this, I could never leave the house. And yeah, so let's actually move on to the next product, which is their newly released setting powder. I was really intrigued when I saw this release, and I thought, finally, we'll have a setting powder. Because this foundation, I can never wear this foundation without powder. And previously, I always used different powders, so I was really excited to actually give this powder a try and try it on top of this foundation. So this is the Vital Press Skincare Face Powder, and this retails for $75. So let's talk about this face powder. Now, this actually comes in this little pouch right here, and this is the container. Now, this is a refillable product, you guys. There's a little hole in here, so you can actually lift up the product and refill it. Finally, I feel like this is the very first product that I picked up by WESTMAN Atelier that is refillable. Now, this comes in this beautiful sort of light golden packaging. It's really stunning. And I picked up the shade Translucent. Now, this is available in 5 different shades. There's also this light baby pink powder. I was really tempted to get that pink powder, but then I remembered, oh, I've got the Rare Beauty powder, and that's pink as well. So I picked up the Translucent setting powder. Now, I actually gave this a fair try. And yeah, let's actually have a read. What are they claiming about this freaking expensive powder on their website? And let's talk about the performance of the product as well. So as I said, this is available in 5 different shades. So on the website, it does say antioxidant rich, potency packed with micro-milled active skincare ingredients into a powder that does more than just set. Ultra sheer and feathery light, this powder instantly smooths pores, evens tone, sweeps away shine. A Skin Defense Shield Complex trademarked ingredient, made with vitamin C and probiotics, shields from free radicals while protecting from blue light. Blue light protection, don't get me going on that. Over time, pressed-in actives help to control sebum and refine texture. Works like makeup, acts like skincare for the ultimate how is my skin this good effect. So this is clean, talc-free and silicone-free. So this is based on zinc laurate followed by mica. There's also silicone here. We have jojoba seed oil. So the vitamin C that they're actually referring about actually does come in the form of magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. Now, yeah, that might not be the most effective, most potent vitamin C. L-ascorbic acid is always the most potent one, but I feel like you can't really put that in a powder. That should be in a serum, in your fridge, and not in a powder. Now, I don't really know where the probiotic ingredients are in this list. There might be somewhere. I don't know where they are. Might be one of these other ingredients. I've no idea. Wish she would have mentioned what ingredients actually make this probiotic blend. So this powder actually feels like silky smooth to the touch, you know. It's really a powder made for people who don't like face powders. And you can tell that Gucci's idea here was to do something a little bit more than a powder. It is so finely milled. It does not have a lot of kickback. When you dip in your brush, the brush picks up the product so well. It doesn't fly around, you know, it's not like a dusty formula or anything. I'm gonna show you how much this is actually doing on one side of my face where I applied this versus the other one. And this is actually on the WESTMAN Atelier foundation. Now, I also tried this product on different foundations, and it did a good job. It's not the most mattifying product though. And also, I thought this would be a lot more blurring than it actually is. On my pores, I mean, it does a decent job, you know, it blurs a little bit, but not over the top. Now, I was very, very scared because this powder is so, so white that this would hot pan on me, because I have a little bit of an issue with their bronzing powder. I'm going to show you what happened to my bronzing powder in a second, because this is such an emollient foundation. It's so moisturizing that the moisture from my brush actually did translate back into the pan, and I am so worried that, you know, this might hard pan on me. I really hope it doesn't, or it might just do the same thing that my bronzing powder did. But I had some issues to properly set my makeup today with this really, really emollient foundation. I actually touched my face later on and I was like, this still feels like it's not set enough. I definitely need something a little bit stronger, something a little bit more mattifying, something that absorbs oil a little bit more. I always find it a little bit fishy if a face powder actually has oil in the powder, because I actually want to absorb oil. I don't want to add additional oil to my face, and this does contain jojoba oil. But I also feel like that wasn't Gucci's idea. She did not want to make like a mattifying, super potent powder. And if you look at my face now, I probably put on that powder about an hour ago, and you can see that there is, especially around here, I should really show you my chin, because my chin is where I feel like, you know, this foundation in combination with the powder just doesn't look as flattering as on the rest of my face. Yeah, this might just be a really, really expensive powder for how much it actually delivers. Now, if it would be very sort of blurring, I would literally love this product, but it's not that blurring. I thought it would be more blurring than it actually turns out to be. I also do want to say though, this does not this doesn't give you a white cast. Although it's such a white powder, it's not translating that to the skin at all. It's truly translucent. I really have to keep you guys updated on this powder, on the long-term benefits of it and how it works with a couple of other foundations that I'm going to be trying out. And I just want to say, you know, there's skincare, vitamin C products, and also skincare products, especially K-beauty products that do contain probiotics. So you don't really need to spend that amount of money for a powder that sits on the skin, that doesn't really sink into your skin. If you're really concerned about those things, get a good serum in your skincare. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this because it's a must-have product. To me, personally, it's not a must-have product. So let's actually move on to the next category. Let's move on from the base products to the complexion color products. Now we do have a couple of cream products and we have one powder product. So I feel like let's actually review the powder product first. So this is the Beauty Butter Powder Bronzer, and this retails for $75. So same price point with this powder than with the face powder. Now this was one of the very first products that I've ever picked up by the brand. And back then when I picked up this product, it came in this pouch right here, which feels like leather, but I can only imagine it's a vegan leather pouch. And now she downgraded it to this sort of more like cotton pouch. I don't know, this is not really necessary to me. It might be good to avoid fingerprints or just to keep the product safe from any scratches. So this bronzer is described as a velvety matte bronzer for nourished, sun-kissed skin. And this is actually available in 2 different shades. Now, back then it was only available in 1 shade. So they actually had released 1 additional shade that is a little bit deeper. I still feel like it's a little bit of a lack of shades with a bronzer, only 2 shades, you know. So I have the shade Coup de Soleil, which is described as a true matte terracotta. And then there's also this shade called Soleil Rich, a rich terracotta. I feel like that's for deeper skin tones. This is good for my skin tone. It's actually a very, terracotta might describe it very, very well because it is very warm. And this is also very, very pigmented. Be careful when you dip in that brush. My brush picks up so much of this product. If I would not tap the brush off, I would run into some problems because this is so highly, highly pigmented. You don't need that much. Honestly, just tap off your brush whenever you're using this. But it's a very beautiful, sort of blendable, buttery, smooth bronzer. I feel like for my liking, it's a little bit too pigmented and a little bit too warm. It's almost leaning orange. Well, it's described as a terracotta, you know. It's not your neutral sort of bronzer. Now the one thing that I do want to say about this bronzer formula is I cannot believe this is $75, and my bronzer, I'm going to show you a close-up of this. My bronzer has these weird bubbles in here. And actually this is not because this is a little bit of an older product. No, no, no. Those bubbles on the product appeared literally after a couple of usages. And I'm not sure why it's doing that. You know, the product is not off or anything. It still works, but I just feel like maybe that's like, instead of a hot pan, it's gonna create these little bubbles. So whenever you're touching your face, you're gonna transfer the moisture from your face onto the powder. But even like cheaper powders don't do that. They kind of tend to hot pan, but not every powder does that. And I've never seen these strange kind of bubbles on a product, like never. But all in all, it's a beautiful bronzer, you know. But do I think $75 for a bronzer? I don't know. I don't know if I would recommend this necessarily. There are so many bronzers on the market. So in that sense, I could not even say this is such a luxurious experience that you have to get this. So I'm not sure what's happening here. Do let me know in the comments below if your bronzer does the same. And if you have this product, I would be really curious to know. So let's actually move on from that last powder formula to the cream products. So this is the Face Trace Contour Stick, and this retails for $48. So this contouring stick is actually available in 3 different shades. I have the lightest shade, which is the shade Biscuit, and that's described as a cool beige coffee shade. This is honestly a product that I truly love. Like, I use it today as a true contouring stick. You can definitely also use this as a bronzer, like a cream bronzer, if you prefer a little bit more of that neutral, leaning, cool undertone. Now I do want to say, for a contouring shade, it's still a little bit warm. It's not completely gray. I have a couple of cream contours that lean even cooler. So it's not the coolest ever, but I love this shade, you know. This is so beautiful. I actually use this on top of powder. I always use this on top of powder, and it blends out like a dream. Sometimes I just literally trace my face with a stick, and on other occasions I actually use a brush and I swipe the brush on top of the product and then just go in with my brush. I kind of prefer that because you have more control to build up a product. You can definitely build this up. Again, this is this creamy, beautiful, more buttery sort of formula. I really love the shade. I really love the fact that this is so easy to apply. It is beautiful and buildable. You can blend this out. This will melt into your skin and it's completely effortless. And yeah, it will definitely give you a nice contouring effect. So let's move on to the next product. Let's move on to the next cream product. Let's move on to the blush. So this is their Baby Cheeks blush stick, and this retails for $48. So this blush stick is definitely no stranger to my channel. I think I featured this in a favorite video when this actually was released. They actually have this in 7 different shades. I feel like I have the most beautiful shade. This is the shade Mimi. And Mimi is described as a tawny beige. It's like this dusty, beautiful rose. It's so beautiful on the skin. This builds up so nicely. It's not too pigmented, and this blends out like a dream. Like, I honestly love to just dip in my brush on top of the product and then just take it from the brush onto my cheeks. And I always use my Ilia complexion brush for that. And I just feel like this product is just so beautiful, from the formula to this color. Now I feel like this one is not too emollient. This one is not too dewy on me. It's actually more of a satin finish, and it's going to give me a little bit of a natural sort of glow, but nothing I don't like. I can also use this on top of powder. This really won't interfere with my base underneath it, and that's what I appreciate about this product. I really honestly enjoy this blush stick, and I would definitely recommend this. So depending on where I order from, I sometimes get these sample cards of WESTMAN Atelier, and they do come with different shades. Now if you look into the middle, this is the shade Petal, which is also so stunning. I feel like this would be my second favorite shade. You can see that Mimi is definitely has more beige in it, and Petal definitely has more of a rosy pink tone. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend their blush stick formula. I also just wanted to have mention, now moving on to the highlighter section. Now, I used to have a lit up highlight stick by WESTMAN Atelier, which came in a special edition box alongside this Mimi blush, but it's the shade Nectar, which is described as a glossy golden peach. Now, I just want to mention, I really did not like that highlight stick for some reason. It wasn't as creamy as the other formulas, and they also have this more iridescent shade called Lit right here. I mean, I've never tried it. It's still in the sample card. I never opened the sample card, but I can only imagine that I would not be too much of a fan of this. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that Nectar shade. I gave it to my mom to try out, so I don't have it anymore. If I find a swatch from a video, I will include this. So quick little update, I actually did ask my mom to hand me back the lit up highlight stick in Nectar just for the review. And now I quickly remembered why I did not enjoy this product. It's because it feels very oily and balmy. It does interfere with my powder, my foundation, basically my makeup underneath it. I mean, it's just sticky. It's sticky to the touch, and yeah, that's why I did not enjoy it. I also think this shade might just not be mine. I don't know. It's really the texture. And if you look at the tip of my nose, it really does look like I applied a balmy oil on top of it. And it just moves around my makeup underneath it. And I'm gonna give it back to my mom. She actually told me she enjoys this for her cheeks. But yeah, I don't. The shade was kind of wrong for me, and it also weirdly enhanced my texture in a way that I did not enjoy. So let's actually move on from that stick to another sort of highlight product. So this is their super loaded tinted highlight, and this retails for $75. So this product actually does come in 4 different shades. Now I have 2 out of the 4. I have this in the shade Peau de Soleil, which is a warm bronze gold, and I've got this beautiful Peau de Rosé, which is a soft cool rose. They also have this in Peau de Santé, which is a warm peachy rose, and they've got this in Peau de Pêche, which is a warm peach. So the Peau de Soleil is this one. Oh yeah, once you actually dip your finger into this product, you're gonna destroy the beautiful pattern that you'll see when you get this fresh and brand new. This is not a powder, don't be fooled, this is a cream product. So once you dip in your brush, your sponge, or your fingers, you're gonna destroy that lovely pattern. So this shade right here, Peau de Soleil, I would honestly say this is not a highlighter for me. This is more of a sparkly sort of bronzer topper or blush topper. I feel like they should be called like shimmery cream blushes instead of necessarily highlighters. It's a little bit confusing, the naming on this product. In the beginning, I wasn't the biggest fan of this product, but I kind of came to appreciate it a little bit more because this will definitely just enhance a bronzed look. I also once tried this on my eyelids and it was a disaster. It was like creasy, it did not work well. But my favorite product out of all of these is this beautiful Peau de Rosé. Oh, this is so stunning. I used this today as a highlighter. I could also just top off my blush if I want some shimmer. So I put it a little bit where I put my highlighter usually, but you can tell it has this pinky tint, which to me, I kind of find this quite beautiful. And another thing that I like to do with this product is to actually use this on my lips. This is gonna give you the most insane metallic shimmery lips ever, and it's actually quite beautiful if you like that. And if you want to cringe for a second, I'm going to show you that other shade Peau de Soleil on my lips, which was a disaster. I looked like I had golden lips and it was just awful. So this one actually does work quite nicely on my lips. Now the glitter particles in here are so finely milled that you can't see the glitter with your bare eyes. You really would have to go in very close, but you can see there's some sparkle in here. As a highlighter, as a blush topper, if you want something shimmery, I would definitely recommend this. You might just have to get used to this texture. Now I tend to just apply it around here with my fingers, but I could also go in with a brush and put it on my cheeks if I would want to top my Mimi blush off with a little bit of glow. Now, usually I don't really like to do that too much, but yeah, this is the shade out of these two that I prefer. All right, those were all of the products that I've got for the complexion. So let's actually move on to the next category. Let's move on to their eyes. Now for the eyes, they actually came out recently with an eyebrow product. Now I did not pick that up. It's called Bone Brow Defining Pencil. It retails for $38, and the reason why I did not pick it up, it's because it's a pencil. Just the pencil. I thought there would be like a tinted gel in it, but it's kind of confusing when you're looking at the product. You might be fooled thinking there might be just a gel in it. It's just a brush, and it's $38 for a pencil. Now, I freaking love my Item Beauty pencil. It's the best pencil I've ever tried, and that one is, I think it's under $20. Another reason why I did not pick it up is the shade selection. I don't think there's a shade that suits my eyebrows, and I'm very particular with finding a good match for my eyebrows. It's kind of difficult. So I just passed on that product, and I don't think I will ever pick it up because it's a little bit too overpriced and the shade range is just not quite there. So actually, let's move on to their eyeshadows, to their cream eyeshadow formula. So this is the iPod single shade, and this retails for $32. Now usually those retail as trios, and the trio retails for $88. That is so expensive for 3 shades. I actually was gifted this product with an order that I made once, and they had this goodie bag, and there was one of those shades in here, and I've got the shade Chocolate. So the chocolate one that I've got is only available in the trio called Les Jours. There's also 2 other sort of trio colorways. There's one called Les Nuits, and then there is one called Rendezvous. You can only get 2 different shades when it comes to their single ones. I wish you would make them all available as single ones instead of making people buy 3 shades without knowing if they actually like it. So there's only a shade called Tabac, a warm bronze, available in the single one, and a shade called Champagne, an iridescent pink. Now, I was so lucky that I've got this chocolate one because honestly, I really love this shade. Now, when I got this, it actually looked so fancy with that beautiful heart pattern in it. That logo of WESTMAN Atelier that is also engraved into the Beauty Butter bronzer. But yeah, I digged my finger in and I realized, wow, this is kind of a strange formula. It's like a cream to powder formula. And also I feel like those are tiny. They are so small. There's not a lot of product in here. So in that sense, they are a little bit overpriced. Now, in terms of formula, I actually dipped in my finger and I tried to swipe it over my lids, and it's a little bit more stiff. So I had to go in with a very sort of densely packed, shorter buffing brush to kind of disperse this product a little bit better. And mind you, there was no glitter in this product. I, stupidly enough, just used a brush that had glitter on it. So if you see any glitter on here, it's because the brush actually had glitter. I realized that afterwards, and then I was like, geez, I have to use a different brush. Now I managed to get a really beautiful taupey, cool tone, chocolatey sort of look out of this. It wasn't too much of an effort. This went on well. Once I knew how to work this formula, it wasn't a problem. So the cream to powder formula definitely does crease a little bit. So, but just so minor. It's not like that much of a biggie. Maybe around here you can see that it settled into my line. It's not a disaster. I had like other cream products that creased a lot more on me, but also I feel like, considering how much I built this color up, it's not that pigmented. And I honestly wish, if you're only getting so little product, I wish it would be a little bit more pigmented. I just feel like there's not enough product in these little pots. They're a little bit overpriced, and I think like you could get a color like that from an eyeshadow palette as well. However, I've got to say, I'm honestly in love with this color. So that's my main reason why I might like this product, is because I did not spend my money on it and I love the shade. Alright, so let's actually move on to the next product that I've got for the eyes, and that's their mascara. So this is their I Love You mascara, and this retails for $58. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the biggest fail out of the entire line. Every time I start talking about this mascara, I'm just like like this. Like, I don't know, I get heated up, like I get irritated and I get frustrated about this product because, in all honesty, I really think this is one of the worst mascaras I've ever tried, and this might actually be the most expensive mascara I've ever tried. So you can imagine how disappointed I was. Yeah, I'm gonna link my other video up here where I actually reviewed this product and where I actually also applied this product, because my mascara has run out. Obviously, it's only good for 6 months. This is quite old, but I kept it around because the packaging is so nice. And I thought if I would ever like make a video on the worst mascaras I've ever tried, this would be included on the list. This formula does not work for me whatsoever. And this is a dry, flaky, crumbly mascara. In the beginning, you may think, oh, it's okay, it's nice, but no, it's not. Just wear it half an hour and you'll have black snow like giving you raccoon eyes all over, and it is just a hard pass for me. This had a really lovely brush, but when the formula sucks, like what can you do? Nothing, okay? The packaging can be as pretty as whatever. It's the prettiest freaking mascara I own, but it's the worst mascara too. So don't even get this product. It's so bad. It's like a dry formula. Every time I tried this, every time I had flakes all over my eyes, like my lower eyes right here. It was a disaster. And for $58, get that formula right. I thought maybe she would have reformulated this mascara by now. No, she hasn't, because once I received like a mini of this, I was like so curious. I tried it again and it was the exact same problem. And then this name, I Love You Mascara, it's the I Hate You Mascara. I'm gonna rename this product. It's such a pretty mess, this mascara. And yeah, just stay away from this. Don't spend your money on this product at all. It's like the worst product I've ever tried by WESTMAN Atelier. Honestly, I'm not alone with disliking this mascara. I remember Khaki Reviews Beauty actually once made this video on this mascara specifically. I'm gonna actually link it up here. She said the same thing. So it's not just my personal opinion. This is like more of a general opinion, I would say. Oh, anyway, so let's move on from this horrible product to another category. Let's actually move on to the lips. So in terms of lip product, there's actually two different lip types of products available. There's a lipstick palette available, and there are lip glosses. So there's actually the lip suedes in two different shades. Those are these palettes, and they retail for $85. Oh, I couldn't get myself around buying them because they come in a palette and you would always need a brush to apply them, and also those colors. I don't know, maybe I would have gotten the Le Nude, but there's always just one shade that I like out of the four, and I just think it's not worth it if I don't like all four to spend $85 on lipsticks on 4 different shades. And yeah, I don't have these. I can't tell you anything about the formula. Let me know if they're good or not, but until they come out with maybe a brown sort of colorway, I'm just gonna pass on that product. So let's actually move on to their lip gloss formulas. So this is the Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm, and this retails for $38. Now, this was a product, when this was released, I definitely did pick it up. I was really intrigued by this product. And now I'm like kind of regretting this. I mean, I'm still gonna use it, but I feel like all of these lip balms do contain carmine, which is such a bummer. I did not realize that. I never thought she would put in carmine into these lip balms. Squeaky Clean Liquid Lip Balm is not considered vegan because all shades contain carmine. Now, I'm not a vegan, but I don't like carmine, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I have 2 products now with carmine. And I picked up 2 shades because I actually like the formula. They're really like heavy packaging. They come in this really stunning sort of black packaging here. And you can see this doe foot has this beautiful gold with the logo engraved right here. I have this in the shade Garçonne, and I have it in the shade Nana. And yeah, let's talk about these 2 shades. So Nana is described as a cool beige, and Garçonne is described as a just bitten. It's kind of like a purpley, sort of dusty, kind of beigey, purpley shade. It's so stunning. Like, this was my first shade that I picked up. These have such a beautiful reflect. They're not like a gel, they're definitely more like a lip balm type of product. The only thing I don't appreciate that much is that these do contain, I mean, apart from the carmine, they do contain perfume. And they have this sort of citrusy, limoncello type of scent to them. So if you don't like that, stay away from them. I don't mind it that much. I just wish this would be completely perfume free. I don't really need that. But it's also not overpowering. You know, I definitely wanted to mention it. It's not an overpowering scent to them, but they definitely kind of smell like fresh lemons in the best way possible. I really like the shade Nana. I mean, I also like the shade Garçonne. You know, both of these shades are really, really stunning. How many shades do they have in total? They have 6 shades in total. I feel like the shade range is really nice, but none of the other shades really spoke to me that much. So I don't know if I would recommend them because I feel like there are other lip formulas that I kind of prefer. And when I tried these out, I was just so intrigued by the colors. But now knowing that they do contain carmine, I mean, I'm not happy about that at all. I wish those were vegan. I don't understand why she had to put in all of the shades she had to put in carmine. There's not one shade that she made vegan, which is such a bummer. This was the last product that I've got by WESTMAN Atelier. And let's just have a look at my face. I mean, wow. I mean, my chin, oh my goodness, my chin is breaking apart on me. That's the foundation. I'm telling you guys, this foundation is just not made for me. But yeah, if I would recommend something, it would be definitely that baby blush cheek stick that I love in Mimi. The face contouring, really great as well. And I also really like that Peau de Rosé product a lot. And everything else, I'm not sure, you know. There are some pros and some cons to the products, but if you've tried out anything by WESTMAN Atelier, please do drop me a comment down below. I would really be curious to know your experiences with those products and what you thought about them. And if you found this review helpful and if you made it that far into the video, why not give it a big thumbs up? That would be extremely appreciated. And also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, you can just hit that subscribe button to stay with me on here a little bit longer. You can also ring the bell in order to stay notified about my upcoming reviews. And I shall be seeing you on here very, very soon with the next one. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.